I feel now that every time a new shop opens in Chiswick, there's only 4 or 5 types of shops that open. They're either a new estate agent, a coffee shop, a restaurant, a shop selling £5 loaves of bread, artisan bread, that would be £3 in the suburbs, or maybe a mobile phone shop. I opened in 1991 in July and really started just with £10 t-shirts and just traded from the front half of the shop because I didn't have the money to stock the back half as well, but we grew and grew, and we've now been going 25 years at the end of this week.
So tell us about your stock. You have some lovely things, but it's pretty inexpensive, so how do you do that?
I've always sort of piled it high and sold it cheap in here. It's how I worked before I came to this shop. I grew up in Kensington Market. I had hair down to my waist and skin tight trousers that I couldn't sit down in and platform boots, and ended up designing and selling platform boots for all the rock stars of the day. Then I went on to high street women's boutiques called Che Guevara in the 70s, and we were always sort of high street prices. So I've come to a secondary position in Chiswick, but it was phenomenal. I remember one day where I sold 36 items of one t-shirt on a Tuesday. We had 6 staff in here on Christmas Eve, one Christmas, and as you can see from the size of the shop, 6 staff more or less fills this shop up. Because there were no parking restrictions at all in Chiswick, customers would drive here from all parts of London once they got to know about how inexpensive we were for what we were doing, and it worked really well. There was also the sort of commuters who would park in the back streets of Chiswick and then get the tube up to London to work or shopping, and they'd pop in here on the way back to their car. So consequently 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the afternoon would be often the busiest hour of the day. And understandably, I suppose Hounslow then had to bring in parking restrictions, which I guess were in the mid to late 90s. Footfall halved, and that was really difficult because we forward ordered in those days, and I was buying stock 6 months, 9 months in advance, so I was buying twice as much stock as I needed, and we got into severe difficulties for a year or two.
Where other shops have had to close because of rent hikes, you haven't had that problem?
I have been quite fortunate. I've got an independent landlord who's been very fair about the rent over the years. So I am on basically quite a low rent. If I was paying the sort of rents that other people are paying on the terrace, I couldn't survive on the prices I'm charging. And if I put my prices up, my customers wouldn't buy so much. So it's a bit of a catch-22. And I worry about the future of retail in Chiswick. So we've always had the really good butchers, the really good fishmongers, and a couple of delis, greengrocers and a health food shop. So on a Saturday morning, basically, so many Chiswick residents come down here and they do their food shopping. If one of the food shops were to close, you could see the death of this street almost in the future, which would be tragic.